Good Monday morning. I didn't actually stop and look at the rain gauge when I went by, but I could see it looked like we had at least half an inch, which is a good thing. It's supposed to rain for another 2-3 hours, and it's just kind of a nice steady, not real heavy. Probably explains why they haven't come to pick that up yet, because it's 2 days after the party now. I knew they wouldn't be here on Sunday. I didn't bother to go look and see if the porta shitter was still here, but they probably haven't taken that yet neither. But yes, we were starting to get dry. We had only had, today's the 18th of July, and we had only had 0.6 of an inch for the month of July. So this is, which we weren't hurting. I mean, we were starting to get brown lawn. You can tell over there towards the flagpole. Obviously here you can't, because this part of the lawn got plenty wet with all the kids flying down that thing and splashing water all over. We had water just a-flowing down the driveway here. But, so this is a good thing. And for once, it's not a 2-inch in 1 hour piss pounder like we've been getting the whole months of like May, June. So we needed this. And we're finally completely cleaned up. Gotta get my cousin's coolers back to them. Got some excess water and beer sitting here, but you know, that'll get drank up, especially the beer. Yeah. All right, it's Tuesday morning, about 10 o'clock. I gotta walk over and check the rain gauge. I forgot, because it rained again. Well, my cousin David and I had our golf league last night, and we got wet. And it was raining at 7, 8, 9 o'clock last night. So, and I forgot to check that this morning when I went to the dumpster to dump a bunch of shit that was left over from the party Saturday. But like I said, the party was Saturday. It's Tuesday morning. Here this thing sits still. Well, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know the story. So those of you who don't, I'm going to tell you. So my mother, who lives in that house, you know, and is going to be 90 here in a few months, like 10 of 9, 5 of 9 last night, our phone rings, and we got one of them phones that talks, you know, and it says phone call from Charles Dennison, still in my dad's name, obviously. And I'm like, my mother goes to bed at like 7:30, thinking, oh shit, something's wrong. So I get up, or Chelsea comes running down the hallway and grabs the phone and answers it, you know, hi Grandma. And about 30 seconds later, she hands me the phone. She says, here, Grandma needs you. So I say, you know, what's going on? She goes, and she calls me Andrew. Andrew, somebody was just beating on my front door. And I waited a minute, got out of bed, and went down and peeked out the window. And of course, you know, it's almost 9 o'clock. It's dark. It's raining. She says there's a truck, a black trailer, and 3 people in dark sweatshirts with their hoods up over their heads standing on the lawn. And the trailer and truck are backed up in front of the shop. So basically it was backed up right here onto the edge of the lawn, and the gate was folded down. And what really set me off was it was on Buddy's fucking grave. And the gate was like right on his little headstone, which I just kind of fixed a little because it had popped up some. So, you know, obviously I found that out because I came over here. So I come over, like I said, it's raining pretty good. It's fucking dark, okay? Sorry for live stream talk, but it's fucking dark. And here's these 3 kids. I have no idea how old they are. They're obviously old enough to drive and whatnot, who this company hires. Hey, we need you to open the shop. We got to have power. We got to blow the thing back up to get the water off of it. It's raining. It's 9 o'clock at night. It took you, I don't know, an hour and a half at least to set this thing up. You just scared the shit out of an elderly woman, beating on her door, waking her up. I mean, and then I saw the Buddy Grave thing, and I just lived up to my grumpy farmer name, because I went off and I told him, you can get back in your fucking truck and get the fuck out of here. Well, our boss told us to come at this time. I said, I'll take care of your boss. So got them out of here, and I went after him about being on Buddy's grave. I mean, there's no common sense and no respect left in this world. It just pisses you off. So then I went over to the house. Now it's like, 5 after 10 after 9, something like that. And I called the owner, who was home at his house, so tough shit. I'm going to interrupt you at 10 after 9 at night. And I went up one side of that son of a bitch down, and then down the other. And he just, in the 2 or 3 minutes that I went after him, I'm sorry. I go, this is how you run a business? I go, you scare the shit out of an elderly woman. You show up at 9 o'clock at night. All day Sunday, the weather was beautiful. All day Sunday. I left it up, left the fans on. I told the kids, well, if they don't show up to get it Sunday, then turn the water on and have some more fun, which they didn't, because they all went somewheres. But so at 6 o'clock Sunday night, I said, you know what? We burned enough electricity on this thing. Nobody's going to use it. I unplugged it. Obviously, they weren't coming. So what? The person who rents it's supposed to leave it plugged in until this company decides they want to come and get it, because they apparently need it plugged in to get the water out of it. I don't know. Bunch of bullshit. But so I told him, I said, you had all day Sunday, beautiful weather. There was a 3-4 hour span yesterday, Monday afternoon, between the rainstorms that you could have came and done it. And you show up at fucking 9 o'clock at night. Jesus. So here it is. What is it now? Little after 10 Tuesday morning. Not supposed to rain. Beautiful sunny day. Supposed to go up to 90. And we'll see how long it takes for their lazy asses to come and get it today. So, but just absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's see what we got. About 8/10. Yeah, right on the 8/10 mark. 8/10 of an inch of nice, easy, didn't even leave huge puddles in the driveways, as you can see. But that was an 8/10 of an inch that was quite nice. Well, 3 cords plugged back in. Just blew it back up. They're in the process of taking it apart, but they had to have it blown up to get all the water off it and get the water out of that thing there in the end. One of these 3 is one of the ones that came and put it up. The other 2 aren't. None of them are the ones that showed up at 9 o'clock last night. Had a few discussions with the owner of the place today, so if we ever do something like this again, we'll get a discount and all this stuff. I told him, I said, and I get it, because these kids are saying that, there's a lot of times they have to pick shit up, it gets dark. A little communication would help, Tell somebody, hey, it might be 9 o'clock at night before we get there. Are you okay with that? Then I could have told her, so that she could have she wouldn't have somebody beating on her door at 9 o'clock at night, waking her up, scaring the shit out of her. So, but they were all apologetic too, because apparently they must have heard from the 3 that showed up last night that what an asshole I was. But hey, it is what it is, and the boss seemed to understand. And that might even be him texting me again, because he just keeps texting me. And we now have our lawn back. And boy, did they make sure they stayed away from Buddy's grave. They parked in my mother's driveway. You wouldn't believe the freaking frogs that were all around this thing and in it. Of course, we had 8/10 of an inch of rain also, so, But they are backing up and leaving. And I know it's dark in here now. You might not see me well because I just shut the big doors, because it's almost 5:30. So I'm going to the house to take a shower, because I'm sweating like a pig, and eat dinner, because there's nothing else to do. But they got here at, 10 or 4. So they were all an hour and a half, over an hour and a half. Now imagine doing that in the pitch black last night in the rain, when they have to try and drain the water out of it that was in it. Don't ask. Whatever. All right, let's look at some fields. This is right across from the shop. Well, you can see the grain leg. We got a light. I mean, it woke me up. It was more noise than anything else. It was enough to wet the dirt. And now at, what time is it? 9:45. The dirt's not wet anymore. But corn is looking pretty damn good for, you know, as dry as we've been in July. So we're making ears. Even, you know, right here on the outside where there's some short ones, they look pretty good. But you can tell looking at the bottom that it's been starting to fire a little in places, but got some good height. Looks like it's producing some decent ears. Obviously it's just, you know, pollinating now, so it's not like we're gonna tear into any ears, because get off me, bug, because there's nothing to see. So, but while we're right here, let's walk over and look at this bean field. The beans have finally started taking off, but I was a little concerned. But that 8/10 the other day sure as the hell made a difference. But this is the bean field right behind my house. And no, without getting my book out, I can't remember. I'm not even gonna. I think these might be the Northrop Kings, but I'm not sure. And you can see in the bean field, the dirt's a little bit darker, but beans are starting to flower. I don't know what that is. Close to knee high. Looking better than what it did a week or two ago. I haven't completely cleaned up the sprayer yet, because I always wait to see if we get any aphids, but we haven't really had any aphid issues. I think the last time I sprayed aphids was, I don't really know, 8 years ago. We don't seem to have a huge Japanese beetle issue at the moment, but that doesn't mean they won't start being a pain in the nuts. But no, they're looking pretty good, and they're looking pretty clean, the Enlist beans. I'm quite satisfied with them. I'm quite satisfied with the way the corn's looking too. All right, I'm up on Denison Road. Boy, the freaking deer flies are terrible. These are an Axis 18 point, or an 1802, so they're a 1.8. You go by the first two numbers. Trying not to step on any. I'm out here on the headland. Same thing, getting close to knee high. As you can see, starting to flower. Obviously no pods yet. They will get taller, obviously, but looking out across there, the few weeds you can see are brown. They're dead. So the spray did its job quite well, but they're pretty good looking beans. And again, I'm not seeing any, you know, any damage to them or anything. So as far as aphids or beetles go, I do see some, you know, chewing off of our friendly deer. But these are a 1.8. I figured I'd drive around, just show you a few fields of beans and corn. It's July 21st, so obviously there's no pods. You know, the corn is making ears, but I'm not going to peel back a little skinny cob, basically. We get into the first week or so, 10th of August. God damn, deer flies. We'll go out and look at stuff again. All right, this is the test plot. Looking very good. Obviously the outside row looks a little shorter, and there's a stalk where, you know, deer decided to try and rip it down. But as you can see by the leaf, we're pollinating with all the shit that's coming off the tassels. But you get in here just into the second row, and you know, this corn is Christ, 2 foot taller than me, but making ears. So this has multiple varieties in it. I think we did 14. And then there's where we start, you know, the Boot of Italy field, the 43 acres across the road. This, I started with a DeKalb 4727, I think it was, so a 97-day corn. And I finished up in here with I think it's an Axis 4555, a 95-day corn. So, but looking good. Oh, these deer flies, sons of bitches. Alright, I'm 1.5 miles or so down the road. This is that where it washed across that driveway and all across the road here during that massive storm we had. Might as well just walk right down this area. Look at the corn stalks and the mud and shit. But these are look at that pile of corn stalks and mud. The trench on the edge of the field. These are a Pioneer 1.8 that are starting to look much better than they were a few weeks ago. So yeah, things are starting to happen now. Beans are growing. I don't know how well you can see from here, and I'm not going down there, but that's that headland that was flooded out. I got it planted other than one little spot, but I didn't plant those until June 27th. Yeah, but they're growing, they're catching. I mean, they'll be what they'll be for what little bit it is, but things are looking good. We'll see what they look like in a few weeks. All right, so anyways, I'm back to the shop. I'm not going to drive around and look at all, you know, everything everywhere. You get a rough idea of what few fields I've shown you. Like I said, it's July 21st. We get into the second week of August when we can actually start, you know, seeing some decent ears forming and whatnot. We'll take another look when we get to where beans are starting to show some pods and whatnot. We'll take another look, but there's no sense in, you know, it is what it is. Y'all get flooded with enough crop videos, so I don't know, I might take a week or two off from filming after this one. We'll see. But anyways, that guy from this company, he just, you could tell he felt like shit because he just keeps contacting me. But anyways, like I told him the last time he did, I said, look, I get it. You guys, you know, sometimes pick shit up late at night or, you know, at dark and whatnot. And that's fine. But when the contract says you're going to pick it up Sunday and you never showed up and you never contacted anybody, and then you show up at, you know, almost 9 o'clock on Monday, just a simple phone call. He's a young guy too, you could tell on the phone. Simple phone call. Communication goes a long ways in this world. So, you know, that's all I'm saying. But he at least, you know, was very apologetic and whatnot. So I'm going to end this. So go to the Grumpy Farmer Apparel link if you want any Grumpy Farmer apparel, and we'll see you in the next one, which, like I said, I might, you know, decide to take a week or two off. We'll see.